To the world, he was a king, an avenger, a symbol of unbreakable strength. But for 4 years, while he was giving us heroes to look up to, Chadwick Boseman was fighting a silent battle for his own life.
Black Panther 2, anything? I'm dead.
This is the full, tragic story of the man behind the icon, his quiet final days, and the powerful legacy he never knew he would leave behind.
I never yielded! And as you can see, I am not dead!
The story of Chadwick Boseman doesn't begin in the shining lights of Hollywood, but in the humble, hard-working city of Anderson, South Carolina. Born on November 29, 1976, he was the youngest of 3 sons to Leroy and Carolyn Boseman. His dad, Leroy, worked at a textile factory and ran an upholstery business on the side, while his mom, Carolyn, was a nurse. It was a home built on faith, discipline, and a simple but powerful belief: you must always do your best. It was a lesson Chadwick would take to heart for the rest of his life. His family remembers him not as the global superstar, but simply as Chad, a gifted and creative soul from a young age. His eldest brother, Derek, now a pastor, recalled that even as a child, Chadwick had an extraordinary artistic talent and could sit and draw anyone with remarkable accuracy. His other brother, Kevin, would go on to become a successful dancer, and this shared passion for the arts created a powerful bond between them. The Boseman household was a close-knit, God-fearing family that nurtured his creative spirit. That creativity wasn't just for show, it was how he processed the world. In high school, a personal tragedy became a turning point in his artistic journey. After a close friend was shot and killed, a young Chadwick channeled his grief and confusion into his first play, Crossroads. It was a raw, powerful exploration of that loss. In that moment of turning pain into purpose, he discovered the profound power of storytelling. He realized that through his art, he could move people, make them think, and maybe even inspire change. He wasn't just interested in entertaining, he was interested in what stories could do. This foundation of family, faith, and a deep desire to create meaningful art was the bedrock upon which the icon would later be built. With his sights set on a career in the arts, Chadwick left Anderson for Washington, D.C. to attend the prestigious Howard University, a historically black institution he would forever call his alma mater. But his ambition wasn't to be in front of the camera, it was behind it. He enrolled in the directing program, wanting to be a writer and director who could shape narratives from the ground up. He took acting classes mainly to understand the craft from an actor's point of view, so he could learn to communicate with them and become a better director. At Howard, he found a mentor in the celebrated actress and professor, Felicia Rashad. She saw a rare and burning talent in him that needed to be nurtured. When Chadwick and some of his classmates were accepted into a prestigious theater program at Oxford University, they couldn't afford to go. Rashad took it upon herself to find the funds. She made a call to a friend she knew believed in investing in the next generation, Denzel Washington. Washington quietly paid for the students' tuition, an act of generosity Chadwick wouldn't learn the source of until years later. The experience was transformative, not just for the world-class education, but for the profound lesson it taught him about community and the importance of reaching back to help those who come after you. Even after this, he stayed focused on directing. He moved to New York and immersed himself in the city's vibrant theater scene, working as a drama instructor at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture in Harlem. He spent his days teaching and his nights writing, all while building his arsenal as a storyteller. He knew he wanted to tell stories that mattered, stories that challenged the lazy narratives often assigned to black characters. That conviction was so strong, it would soon force him to make a difficult choice, one that would set him on the path to becoming an actor, not out of vanity, but out of necessity. New York was a city of a million stories, but for a young artist trying to find his voice, it was also a city of immense struggle. Chadwick embraced the grind, taking small TV roles to make ends meet on shows like Law and Order, CSI NY, and ER. These were the dues-paying years, where he honed his craft one line at a time, learning the mechanics of acting for the camera. Yet even in these early days, his integrity was non-negotiable. His first recurring role was on the soap opera All My Children. He was deeply troubled by the character he was asked to play, feeling it was a harmful stereotype of a young black man. He voiced his concerns to the producers, not with anger, but with thoughtful questions about the character's backstory. He wanted to bring depth and humanity to the role. The producers seemed receptive, but a week later, he was fired. The role was ironically recast with a young Michael Jordan A., who would one day become his on-screen adversary in Black Panther. For Chadwick, getting fired wasn't a failure, it was a defining moment. It solidified his resolve to never compromise his principles for a paycheck. He wouldn't perpetuate negative stereotypes. If he couldn't find the roles that spoke to him, he'd have to inhabit them himself to make sure they were done right. He continued to work, to audition, and to wait. His perseverance was a quiet, steady burn. He wasn't looking for fame, he was looking for a platform. And after years of grinding, of saying no more than yes, the perfect platform finally arrived. A role that would require him to step into the shoes of a legend.
Black Panther 2, anything?
I'm dead.
In 2013, the world truly met Chadwick Boseman. He was cast as Jackie Robinson in the film 42, a role that carried the immense weight of history. Robinson wasn't just a baseball player. He was a civil rights pioneer who broke the color barrier, enduring unimaginable racism with quiet grace and ferocious talent. To portray him was a profound responsibility. Chadwick immersed himself in the role, training relentlessly for months to master Robinson's physicality and studying every piece of footage to capture his spirit. The film was a massive success, and Boseman's performance was a revelation. He didn't just imitate Jackie Robinson, he embodied his quiet strength, his inner turmoil, and his unyielding dignity. This role set a new course for his career. Hollywood had found an actor who could be trusted with the legacies of black icons. A year later, he transformed himself again, this time into the godfather of soul, James Brown, for the biopic Get On Up. The physical and vocal demands were staggering, but Boseman was fearless, capturing Brown's explosive energy and complex genius. He followed this with a powerful turn as the brilliant lawyer and future Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. In just a few short years, Chadwick Boseman became a vessel for Black history, bringing the stories of these monumental figures to a new generation. He was at the peak of his powers, but behind the scenes, a devastating new reality was taking hold. It was in 2016, as he was preparing for these demanding roles, that Chadwick Boseman was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. The man who was projecting superhuman strength on screen was now facing a private, life-or-death battle. He told almost no one. As he stood on red carpets, he carried a secret that would have crippled most. But Chadwick was not most people. With his diagnosis hidden from the world, he was about to take on the role that would make him a king, all while fighting the most difficult war of his life. In 2016, the same year as his cancer diagnosis, Chadwick Boseman debuted as T'Challa, the Black Panther, in Captain America: Civil War. 2 years later, the standalone Black Panther film was released. And it wasn't just a movie, it was a global phenomenon. Directed by Ryan Coogler, the film was a celebration of Black excellence, and at its heart was Chadwick's regal and powerful performance as King T'Challa. He became the first Black actor to headline a Marvel Cinematic Universe film, giving millions of children a superhero who looked like them. Wakanda Forever became a cultural rallying cry, a symbol of pride and unity. To the world, Chadwick was the embodiment of that strength. He was a king. But what no one knew was the staggering courage it took to even stand on that set. For 4 years, as his cancer progressed from stage 3 to stage 4, Chadwick persevered. He filmed Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame, 21 Bridges, and Da 5 Bloods, all while undergoing countless surgeries and grueling rounds of chemotherapy. His co-stars and directors were completely unaware. They only saw his incredible work ethic and chalked up his exhaustion to his deep commitment to the craft. In his final year, his dramatic weight loss became a topic of public concern and, tragically, cruel online speculation. Around April 2020, his gaunt appearance in an Instagram video shocked many fans. Yet, in that video, he didn't speak of his own pain. Instead, he used his platform to announce a donation of protective equipment to hospitals serving minority communities hit hardest by the pandemic. Even as his own body was failing, his focus was on protecting others. He carried his burden with unimaginable grace, ensuring the world saw only the king, never the patient. The final months of Chadwick Boseman's life were lived with the same quiet dignity that defined his career. In private, he was preparing for the end. He spent his last days in his Los Angeles home, surrounded by those who knew him simply as Chad. Sometime after their engagement in October 2019, he secretly married his longtime partner, Taylor Simone Ledward. The official statement from his family after his passing would confirm he died with his wife and family by his side, a testament to their private, powerful love. His older brother, Pastor Chadwick Boseman, was with him during this difficult time. Derek later shared a heartbreakingly poignant story from their final conversation. The day before he passed, Chadwick, weary from his 4-year fight, looked at his brother and said, "Man, I'm in the 4th quarter, and I need you to get me out of the game." Derek, who had been praying for God to heal his brother, understood. He changed his prayer from one of healing to one of peace, asking that God's will be done. Chadwick was tired. He was ready. On August 28, 2020, at the age of 43, Chadwick Boseman passed away. The world was stunned. The announcement of his death revealed his silent 4-year battle with colon cancer for the first time. The grief was immediate and overwhelming. The revelation recast his entire career in a new, even more heroic light. Every performance, every interview was now seen for what it was, an act of profound strength and unwavering commitment to his purpose, even in the face of his own mortality. Even as his life was drawing to a close, Chadwick's commitment to social engagement never wavered. His very last post on social media, on August 11, 2020, was a picture of him with then vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris, both proud graduates of Howard University. His caption was simple, "Yes, at Kamala Harris." It was a final, powerful call to action from a man who used his platform to inspire until the very end. This activism was a constant throughout his illness. He used his A-list status to amplify the Black Lives Matter movement, and on Juneteenth 2020 called on his followers to support Black-owned businesses. Perhaps most movingly, he continued his tireless work for children. In 2018, 2 years into his own cancer battle, he visited St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. He attended a Black Panther-themed party for the young patients, many of whom were battling cancer themselves. The staff noted that while celebrity visits can be brief, Chadwick was different. He insisted on staying until he had met every single child, even visiting those too sick to attend. Knowing now that he was fighting the same disease, that he understood their struggle on a deeply personal level, makes this act of generosity almost unbearable in its beauty. He was a real-life superhero, giving away his strength and his time, even as his own was running out. Chadwick Boseman's death on August 28, 2020, sent a shockwave of grief across the world, a loss that felt deeply personal to millions. Tributes poured in from his Marvel co-stars, from world leaders, and from countless fans. They mourned not just an actor, but a consummate artist and a man who, as Angela Bassett said, freely gave all that he possessed. But his story didn't end there. His final fiery performance in Ma Rainey's Black Bottom earned him posthumous awards, with his wife, Taylor Simone Ledward, accepting them in a series of incredibly powerful speeches. His alma mater, Howard University, honored him by renaming its School of Fine Arts the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts, ensuring his name will inspire artists for generations to come.
That I got to love this person, and I also got them to love me too.
Simone, you with me every day. I have to acknowledge you right now. Love you.
His legacy isn't just in the films he made, but in the life he lived. He showed the world what it means to live with purpose, fight with grace, and lead with integrity. He was Jackie Robinson, James Brown, Thurgood Marshall, and King T'Challa. But he was also Chad, a son, a brother, a husband, a man who faced his own mortality with superhuman courage. He kept his pain private, not to hide, but to ensure his power to inspire remained undiminished. The message of Wakanda Forever now carries a new, deeper meaning. It's a promise of resilience, a symbol of a legacy that will never fade. In his 2018 commencement address at Howard University, he urged the graduates to press on with pride and press on with purpose. It was how he lived his life, and it is the enduring, powerful legacy he left for us all. Subscribe for more stories of lives that changed the world.